Hi. All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about sleep. Actually, we're going to talk a lot about sleep. This is a series of 4 episodes, and this first episode is looking at the big picture. So, in natural medicine, we try and understand what the underlying conditions are for a symptom that you're experiencing, because we find that we can be much more effective if we treat the underlying cause at solving the symptom that you're experiencing. Normally, if you have a sleeping problem and you go to your medical doctor, they're going to prescribe a sedative. And a sedative is going to work right away. You take it tonight and you're sleeping tonight. So they're very, very efficient at what they do. The concern, though, is that these sedatives can be habit forming. So they can be very difficult to come off of. You may have to be weaned off of the drug. Some people will experience side effects as a result of the weaning. In some cases, people may find that they need to take stronger and stronger doses over time because their body habituates to the dosing. So I see clients who are either trying to wean themselves off of prescription medication for sleep, or I see people who are trying to avoid the prescription sedatives altogether. Now, when you come and see us, we're going to want you to take a look at the big picture. Take a step back and understand what's happening, what's causing your disrupted sleep, because it's not happening out of the blue in a vacuum. Now, there are 2 things I'm going to talk to you about today. One is sleep hygiene, and the other are circadian rhythms. All right, so circadian rhythms are rhythms that our body produces, and it's reactive. It's reacting to our environment. I know it sounds a little bit Star Trekky, but it's a real thing. Circadian rhythms react to lightness and darkness. Now, this is important because if we have too much bright light before we go to sleep, then it's going to impact the body's messaging system that tells us that it's sleeping time. So it's very, very important to find a way to create a nice, relaxed, darkened environment when you're sleeping. And this is going to lead into my conversation about sleep hygiene. First things first, need to make sure your bedroom is nice and dark. No lights, get some blinds or have some heavy curtains so you can block out light. This is especially important for people who are working shift work because you're trying to sleep during the day. So you need to make sure that your sleeping area is quite dark. Now, we have some bad habits that we've acquired over this COVID time. And one of those very bad habits is reading on our tablets in bed or watching videos on our phones. Now, keep in mind that those devices are emitting a fairly bright light. And that bright light is messaging your brain and telling your brain it's not sleeping time yet because it's still bright. You need a fairly long period of darkness before you have enough of the hormone melatonin for you to start feeling sleepy. So make sure that you keep the devices darkened and not in your bedroom. Now, for those of you who are very physically active, one other thing to consider with sleep hygiene is that really heavy physical activity before going to sleep is going to disrupt your sleeping patterns. It's excitatory. In other words, your brain is producing hormones that are keeping you awake and keeping you alert and moving and pumping blood through your body. So that's not a calming thing. So you want to try and make sure that your physical activity is 1 to 2 hours before your sleep. Okay, so you want to give yourself, I usually say at least 2 hours. You need to give yourself at least a good 2 hours before you think about going to bed. All right, so you've got to give your body a chance to wind down. We can't order that brain to go to sleep. We've got to give our bodies a chance to wind down. Body temperature. We need our bedrooms to be cooler, right, at night, because that actually helps us with having a better sleep. If the room is too hot, then you're going to also have disrupted sleeping patterns. So keep that in mind. You need to try and keep the temperature on the cooler side so that your body feels more relaxed, and then you're going to be having a better night's sleep. And then lastly, drink something calming before you go to sleep. It's true, hot milk does work for some people because when you boil or heat milk, you produce a digestible form of an amino acid called L-tryptophan, and L-tryptophan does help us with disrupted sleep. You can also use natural herbal calming teas. Just make sure that they don't have any green or black tea in them because that kind of defeats the purpose. So read those labels carefully. In another video, we'll be talking a little bit about some of your herbal tea options. All right, so address your sleeping environment, be mindful of lightness and darkness, and make sure that you're doing relaxing, calming things before going to bed so that your body knows that it's wind down time. I hope that this was helpful. Please consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and yes, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post a new video. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Keep well, and we'll work on sleeping well.